Okay, so let us begin with today's class. Yesterday we were studying about the address calculations, where I have written that what are the address when we talk about accessing 2D arrays. There in row measure and in column measure, two forms I was talking about. Fine. Then now first I will explain this concept of row measure and column measure. Then I will give you a sum according to that. So memory representation of 2D array. This memory representation of 2D arrays, it can be one in row measure and another in column measure order. So first, suppose I am explaining the row measure order. Now in row measure order, the elements are stored row wise. We have discussed this yesterday. And rows are being listed on the basis of columns. So suppose I have an array A which will contain this type of elements. Suppose in theoretical I am explaining that I have a 3 cross 3 matrix where I am representing the array. So since it's a 2D array, each of the cells are being represented like this 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. Then what will happen if I need to store it in the memory? Since the row wise concept is there and in the memory this grid format is not there, in the memory only linear format is happened. First this row will be stored, that is row 0, then row 1, then row 2. So first it will store row 0 elements, then it will store row 1 elements. So like this. So first you can see row 0 elements are stored. Then you can see row 1 elements are stored. Then row 2 elements are stored like this. Fine. And when I talk about column measure form, just the opposite will happen. That means if I talk about column measure, then if this is the matrix, first my column 1, then column 2, then column 3. Then in the memory, how will it be stored? It will be stored as A00, then A10, then A20, then A01, then A11, then A21, like this. So first column 1, then column 2, like this it will be stored. Fine. So this was the concept which I was talking about yesterday, that in row measure and in column measure, and whenever row measure is concerned, then we will use one address which we have learned, and whenever it will be say a column measure is used, then we will use another formula which we have learned yesterday. So now suppose I am giving you the question is, consider a 20 into 5 2D array. Okay, the name of the array is marks, 2D array marks, where the base address is 1000 and the size of each element is 2. Fine. Now the question is compute the address of the element that is which is at location this. Fine. This is the location, this location element's address we need to find, and we will assume that the entire we will assume that the entire representation is in row major form. So this is the sum. Please anyone just solve it and write in the chat box what is the answer. Please. We have seen the formulas yesterday, so it's time to execute the formulas also. Okay, someone has written something. Let me just check. 1176. Perfect. So this is the way how, given any major form, we calculate the address, that is the address of elements in 2D arrays. Now one extra thing, one important thing which I wanted to share is, in 1D arrays, we have seen that the computer, it will not keep track of address of every element in the array. The computer will only store the address of the first element. So in the memory, the computer will hold the address of only the first element, that is the base address. And since everything is according to a formula, the other addresses of the other elements are computed automatically by the computer. Same is the case with 2D arrays. The computer will store only the base address, that is address of the first element, and all the other elements is calculated according to the formula. Okay, and whether it is row major and column major, it depends that while making that particular machine, what is the hardware that it is configured with. It is not the lookout of the user or the programmer that in the memory what order is being used. Okay, this is one information which I wanted to share. Now the question is, how do we initialize 2D arrays? No, Shobha, 241 is not the answer. Because Ashish is right, 1176 is the answer. Because the formula was base address plus W, that is size of each element, which is 2. Then there is N. When I follow row major, I give N. This is my M into N. So my N is 5. So here I will give 5. Then there is I minus 1. This is my I, this is my J. So 18 minus 1 plus 4 minus 1. So this is the exact formula of this particular element. Okay. Now if I do the calculations, if I solve this, my answer will be 1176. Okay. So yes, Ashish is right. 1176 is the answer. Okay. Now we will move on to the next topic, that is we have learned to initialize 1D arrays. Now how do we initialize 2D arrays, right? Now In 1D array, what was happening? We were, lot of initializations were there. In 2D arrays, one initialization can be, suppose marks is the name of my array. This is the number of rows and number of columns. So this means there are 2 rows and 3 columns. So 2 into 3, 6 elements. So I can initialize it at one time only during the program being written. This is one correct way, but it is not followed, because whenever this program will run, it will run with this fixed number of elements. But we actually tend to make programs so that user will give his input. It will be a dynamic one, that is during runtime the user will input. Another way of writing is suppose the same, I declare the row 1 and row wise I am storing. So first I stored 1987, 78. Okay. Then again I am storing 68, 62, 71. Okay. Here is another bracket. Here is another bracket. So this will mean that this will be in my first row, this will be in my second row. Okay, row 1 and row 2. Fine. This is a way of initializing. Okay. In suppose I want to initialize all the elements to 0. Fine. So for that, I just need to write this. And if I write this, it will automatically initialize all my entire 2D arrays will be as 0. Fine. And also we can use this concept that individually I can assign. Suppose in my marks 1 and 2, in this location I want to insert one value. So exactly this value will be in this location. Suppose I have declared my array as int marks 2, 3. And in this maximum size of 2 and 3, I am in one particular location, that is in this index location for row and column. I am inputting this particular value. This also can be done. So these are the ways how during declaration only I am initializing my 2D arrays. But we generally don't do that. We do what? We take arrays, or we take array values from the user while like during the runtime, when the program is executed during runtime. So now we will understand that concept, that how we need to take value. The same logic we use for loop 1 to n. There was a for loop now from 1 to less than n. Here two for loops will be there, one for row, one for column. Suppose for row, if I take a n1, and for column, if I take n2, I will run from 0 to n1, j will run from 0 to n2. Simple concept, but this is the difference. Fine. So let us now do that. So what can I do? Suppose I am declaring one array A, that is ARR, and there I am declaring this size. Fine. Number of rows is 3, number of columns is 4. Fine. So now after declaration, I need to take the row column value from the user. So I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, this will run. Now this first loop will indicate my rows. Since first I have declared rows, first loop which I will be writing will have to be declaring or accessing my rows. Next, inside this for loop, there will be another for loop which will run from j is equal to 0, j less than 4, j plus plus. Now this will access my column. Because this is my column size, this will access my column. And inside this is the scanf statement which I am using in order to access each and every element of my array. Okay. This loop is closed and this loop is closed. Now, how does this thing run? First, suppose when I am declaring my array to be of like this, that is 3 rows and 4 columns. Fine. First, my I will indicate my row and J will indicate my column. Fine. First, my I is starting. I equal to 0. This means this column. 0 is less than 3. Yes, true. If it is true, it will go into the inner loop. Inner loop says we will start from j equal to 0. That is again this location. J equal to 0. 0 is less than 4. Yes, it is true. If it is true, I will go into the inner line. Inner line says scanf the element and store it at I and j, whatever the location is. So currently my I location is 0, my j location is 0. So whatever element I am taking from the user, suppose 2, I am taking the value 2, it will be stored in 0, 0 location. Then it says j plus plus, right? It is not going here. From here, it will just branch to here. This is the important segment where you need to, this is the important segment where you need to learn that how the inner loop and the outer loop works. So from here, it goes to this section. So it is j plus plus. Now my j will not point over here, it will point over here. Now when my j is pointing over here, it says j is 1. 1 is less than 4. Yes, it is true. If it is true, again we are entering into this loop scanf and put whatever element the user is inputting into the location array of ij. My I is at 0 only. My j has changed. So at the location 0, 1, I am inputting something. So let me say I am inputting the value 8. Now this will be saved in this. Again, I am going back from here to the loop j plus plus. Now will j point over here. Again, it is saying 2. 2 is less than 4. Yes, true. If it is true, go to the inner, that is scanf. Scanf is array position ij. I is 0, j is 2. तो array 0 2 में कुछ element डालना है. Suppose यहाँ पे 9 डाल दिए. Again, it will go back. J plus plus. J is here. J is 3. 3 is less than 4. Yes, then scanf array ij में कुछ डालो. तो array of I का वैल्यू तो 0 ही है. J में 3. थर्ड लोकेशन में कुछ डाल दिए. सपोज होचे 3 डाल दिए. फाइन. अगेन J plus plus. J plus plus होके J कहाँ को पॉइंट कर रहा है? J 4. 4 is less than 4. No. If the inner loop is saying it is no, the construct will move on to the outer loop. Outer loop, what was the next statement? Outer loop statement was I plus plus. Now from 0, my I will point over here, I1. Similarly, I1 के लिए हम ऐसे करके करके करते रहेंगे. अब I1 के लिए मेरा J 0th पोजीशन, देन मेरा J1 पोजीशन, देन मेरा J2 पोजीशन, ऐसे करके करके फिलअप होगा. सो पहले I0 के लिए सारा j का लोकेशन फिलअप होगा, फिर I1 के लिए सारा लोकेशन फिलअप होगा, फिर I2 के लिए सारा लोकेशन फिलअप होगा. तो ऐसे करके जब फिलअप होगा, वी विल सी दैट रो वाइज वी हैव फिल्ड ऑल द एलिमेंट्स. Is this concept clear? How the calculation is done and how each and every element is being filled up? Is this thing clear? Yes or no? How the inner loop is working, how the outer loop is working?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So this needs to be clear because henceforth all the programs, maybe it will consist of a lot of looping concepts, a lot of inner loop, outer loop concept. So this was the way how inner loop and outer loop works. That is, outer loop, outer रिपीट कहाँ से करे रशीद? पूरा समझ में नहीं आया तो नहीं होगा, कहाँ से रिपीट करे? सो आउटर लूप के भीतर जो स्टेटमेंट है, यहाँ पे आउटर लूप के भीतर एक ही स्टेटमेंट था तुम्हारा स्कैनफ. हो सकता है ये 2-3 स्टेटमेंट्स हो. आउटर लूप के भीतर जो स्टेटमेंट्स होगा वो चलता ही जाएगा टिल द आउटर लूप कंडीशन. सॉरी, इनर लूप तुम्हारा जे है तो जे इज द इनर लूप. तो इनर लूप के भीतर जो भी स्टेटमेंट्स है तुम्हारा चलता ही जाएगा टिल द इनर लूप कंडीशन इज फॉल्स. Once the inner loop condition is false, then it will go on to the outer loop. Then again outer loop का जो condition था कि इंक्रीमेंट करके चेकिंग करके घुसना है ऐसा, तो इनर लूप तब तक चलता है जब तक ना इनर लूप के बाहर जाने का कंडीशन ना आए. तो इनर लूप के बाहर जाने का कंडीशन जब भी फॉल्स होगा तभी वो फिर से आउटर लूप पे नेक्स्ट इंक्रीमेंट और नेक्स्ट इटरेशन के लिए जाएगा. ठीक है? So this is the concept of this entire thing, that is array, 2D arrays. Okay, now let us just quickly do one program in order to implement this very concept so that it is easier for you people to understand. Okay, okay, I will be deleting these things. So I am writing a program to print the elements in a 2D array. Okay, just to print the elements in a 2D array. So what we have just learned, we have learned that we need to declare the array first, the number of rows and the number of columns. So first, suppose I am declaring it as the simplest one. Okay, 2 into 2 array, simplest one. And suppose I am not going into the difficult one, I am just initializing in this value only. So 4 elements I am providing: 12, 34, 56, 32. Fine. Suppose I have done that. Now, in order to print my 2D array, I need to run a loop in order to print my 2D array. So, there will be 2 for loops. One for loop for I, which will denote my row wise, and another is this for loop is indicating row. Inside this for loop, I am taking another loop, that is my J loop, And inside this J loop, I am doing what? I am just printing. For printing also I need this looping concept of outer inner. For taking values from the user also I need this looping concept, that is outer inner. Okay. Fine. So this loop is closed for loop J, and this loop bracket is closed for the loop I. Since I have used int ij, these two variables, I need to declare also ij. Fine. So this was so let us execute it. Fine. You can see this. Okay. So suppose you want to print it in the form of matrix form. Okay. So here I will give another printf statement. So now when I execute it, see, it is in 2D form, right? 2 by 2 matrix. The elements which I have initialized it has printed me those elements. So this is the simplest thing which I showed, that is printing the elements. Now if you want to take elements, as in case of arrays which we have learned, same concept will be used. For taking elements also, this loop only will run. The only change will be here, one ampersand will be included. Otherwise, same concept. So first you do not write this, you omit this, you just declare int AR22 semicolon, then you execute one loop for taking the values from the keyboard, then you execute another loop for taking the for printing the values which has been taken from the keyboard. Fine. So this was the concept about arrays. Now I will share you the attendance screen. Okay. Okay. So let me just share your attendance. Everyone, please mark your attendance, okay? Quickly mark your attendance. Okay, so I hope everyone is able to. Those who have marked their attendance, they can leave. And Rashid, you stay here because you wanted, I'm stopping the share. Okay? Rashid, you stay here because you wanted to understand the loop. So others, those who have marked their attendance, they can leave. Okay? Okay, Rashid. कहाँ से स्टार्ट करें बोलो?
मैम जे लूप से।
Rashid, are you there? हाँ, फाइन। सो लूप से स्टार्ट करते हैं। तुम्हारा रो के हिसाब से लूप होगा, राइट? तो तुम्हारा फर्स्ट लूप चलेगा 0 से लेस देन 3 तक, क्योंकि तुम्हारा रो है 3 और हम इंडेक्स 0 से स्टार्ट करेंगे तो एक कम तक चलेगा। सो 0 से 2 चलेगा मेरा फर्स्ट लूप फॉर द रो, एंड मेरा सेकंड इनर लूप जे के लिए कॉलम के लिए चलेगा। सो मेरा जे 0 से लेस देन 4 के लिए चलेगा, क्योंकि 0 से 3 के लिए चलेगा। तो इस लूप के भीतर हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? हम लोग क्या करेंगे? हम लोग एक एक करके वैल्यूज लेंगे, ठीक ना? सो सपोज मेरे पास ये पहले से है फॉर i इक्वल टू 0। i इक्वल टू 0 मतलब मेरा i अभी यहाँ पे डिनोट कर रहा है 0th रो पे। I is less than 3, yes. 0 is less than 3, true. If it is true, I will enter into my inner loop. That is, I will first say j equal to 0. Now j equal to 0 is the first column. This is the first column for j equal to 0. 0 is less than 4, yes. 0 is less than 4. If it is true, I will enter into the execution inside the loop. इट सेज एरे ऑफ आई जे लोकेशन में वैल्यू डाल दो, मतलब एरे ऑफ आई मेरा है 0, जे मेरा है 0, उसमें कुछ वैल्यू सपोज डाल दिए। डालने के बाद यहाँ से तो यहाँ पे वापस जाएगा, दैट मीन्स जे प्लस प्लस। सो से जे 0 से मेरा अभी जे यहाँ पे डिनोट करेगा मेरा जे प्लस प्लस, राइट? तो अभी जे प्लस प्लस पे मेरा जब डिनोट करेगा तो क्या करेगा? हम लोग क्या देखेंगे? जे अभी क्या हो गया तुम्हारा 0 से 1। 1 is less than 4, yes. If 1 is less than 4, again we will go inside and we will enter something in the array of I and j. array तुम्हारा I का वैल्यू 0 ही था, पर तुम्हारा I का वैल्यू 0 ही था, पर तुम्हारा j का वैल्यू अभी 1 हुआ है। मतलब एरे ऑफ 0 1 लोकेशन में नेक्स्ट वैल्यू डालो। एरे ऑफ 0 1 लोकेशन मेरा ये है, नेक्स्ट वैल्यू डाल दिया। फिर से मेरा j प्लस प्लस, j 1 से अभी 2 हो गया, राइट? 2 इज लेस देन 4, यस। 2 इज लेस देन 4। एरे ऑफ आई जे मतलब एरे ऑफ 0 and 2 में नेक्स्ट वैल्यू डालो। सो एरे ऑफ 0 and 2 में नेक्स्ट वैल्यू डाल दिए। अगेन j प्लस प्लस, j 2 से मेरा 3 हो गया। 3 is less than 4, yes. 3 is less than 4, condition satisfied. array of ij मतलब array of 0 3 में नेक्स्ट वैल्यू डालो। यहाँ पे नेक्स्ट वैल्यू डाल दिए। अब j मेरा इंक्रीमेंट होके 4 हो गया।